But like that was more than 10 years ago. And he's in good great shape.
Yeah, and then he was sailing around, he become a captain.
That's what we did that. That's how we met. Because I was from New Jersey and he was here. You're
Go ahead. I'm getting you. Oh, you want to share?
But we're all here for a very special purpose, for a very special man. We're here because about 6 months ago, as chair of the Constitutional Rights Foundation, we were looking for a keynote speaker, and we wanted someone who was dynamic, charismatic, and just would knock everybody's socks off. And only one name came to mind: Mayor Cory Booker. Senator Cory actually was able to get a proclamation for you, and I want Mr. Westbrook to present it, if you have a few minutes. But
unfortunately, the senator couldn't make it here today. They are currently stuck in session dealing with legislative bill deadline. Next week they have the budget to deal with. I'm sure you know how that goes all too well. But he did send his greetings, and he wanted me to present this resolution to you for your outstanding work. I'm not going to read it all, but I'll read some excerpts. To the Honorable Cory A. Booker, whereas the Honorable Cory Booker, Mayor of Newark, New Jersey, to your visit to California as an honored guest, and it is appropriate at this time to honor you.
So there's a lot of people like myself who are sort of centrist to say we should have open primaries, so that candidates now won't be, you guys all know this, in primaries people move to the wings and then they try to move back to the center. Wouldn't it be better to have primaries which were open, which if I want to vote in the Republican primary, even though I'm a Democrat, I can vote for it. Therefore, those Republicans or those Democrats will be not trying to appeal to certain wings, they'll be trying to appeal to everyone. So there's a lot of groups now that organically are forming around our country who are these purple people, I call them, who are trying to get our country to create a democratic structure that selects for pragmatism and not a lot of the issues that really we are not as a people either that concerned with or not. And that's why to me you get a Congress that's so broken because everybody's worried about the wings of their parties as opposed to centrists. What happened to the days of a Rockefeller Republican? They're just gone now, and that's hurtful for the country. And this is the first time in our nation's history that the plurality of us, the largest group is not Democrats or Republicans, it's people that consider themselves independents. And why don't we start having politics that reflect that? People so underestimate, the biggest thing we do every single day is underestimate the power that we have. And that's something my parents tried to really affect me. And it's hard. Now, we were talking to some people here, we were talking about raising children, because it's something I struggle with, which is how do we find greater ways to make a change just as individuals? And you know, I say I struggle with it because I know that I'm a leader, and what I do is far more important than what I say. And I'm in debt. My dad was shoveling the driveway because he was always going to be the first person to work, because he saw it very clearly that if you want to get the things other people don't get, you got to do the things other people don't do, son. And so this is a lesson in life, and I'm not going to tell it to you, I'm going to show it to you. The challenge of where we are right now in America is that the problems that we think are so complex really are not that complex. We've got to lean on the wisdom from where we came. And one of my leaders in this building, who we buried this year, a woman named Miss Virginia Jones, she was this anchor force in my life that would always snap me back to reality when I was down and when I was depressed. And she said that she was pulled into the lobby one day by somebody who couldn't speak and was crying. She said she saw her son there with 3 bullet holes in his chest and dead. So imagine I'm sitting there now, this woman I've known for 10, 15 years. She tells me a story about her son that I didn't know. And I remember looking at her and said, Miss Jones, I know where you work. She and I paid market rent to live in public housing projects. I said, I know where you work. I know the money you made. I don't understand why you would stay in this building and walk through this lobby where your son was murdered. Why do you still live here? And she looked at me almost annoyed. She said, why do I still live here? And I said, yes. And she said, why am I still in apartment 5A? I said, yes. She said, why am I still the tenant president since this building was built in 1969? And part of me's thinking, that's an electoral longevity. I'm very impressed. I said, yes, why? And she proudly stood up and she crossed her arms and she said, because I'm in charge of Homeland Security. And I just hugged her. And so for me, this is really where I feel we are in America. There's no problem we can't solve. It's not a matter of can we, it's a matter of do we have the collective will.
We just want to thank all of you for coming to this meeting. Is he the right hand for the job? I had older than Cory, but he and
okay, that's how we answer that. It takes one to know one.
there we go. All right.
Tell you these stories. They didn't have that model of what a father is. They had insecurities about what it meant to be. So we started a fatherhood group. We started a fraternity of men. We called it Delta Alpha Delta Sigma Dads, where we gave them mentor dads, parenting classes, group activities for their kids. Getting a job was secondary. It's a step towards the greatest goal in life, which is to be a parent.